day 117. It was cool last night, about 50 degrees. So it felt good. I actually got my sleeping bag and got a little cozy. It's just sleeping on top of it or sleeping with it open. So it was good night, and I must have slept real good because I normally turn my phone off just to save battery, and I'll be waking up throughout the night. And by the time I turned the phone on, it was already like 5:25. I thought it was a lot earlier than that because it was so dark, and I think it's a combination of the days are starting to get a little bit shorter, and I'm deep in the woods, so with a lot of tree cover, I thought it was like 2 or 3, and I wake up, turn on my phone and look, and it's already like 5:25. So I normally set my phone for 5:30, the alarm, and then I turn it on, in the middle of the night, so it's on. But I was just surprised that I just woke up naturally at 5:25 and slept all the way through the night. So yeah, real good night's sleep. I'm gonna try and do, I think, looking at the map, because the water sources are spaced apart, I think I'm gonna try and do like 26 miles. Because I think there's like a water source in 8 miles, and then 10 miles after that, and then 8 miles after that. So there's only 3 water sources today. And if I, come up short, do 22, 23, well, there's kind of a big climb in there. So it just works out between the climbs and the water. Try and do 26 today. So we'll see how that goes. Try and hit the trail and then make some good time. Okay, see you down the trail. Okay, so first thing in the morning, I do smell some smoke. There's a mini burn zone here. This just was a little bit. This burned several years ago. But yeah, looking up at the sky, looks pretty hazy. And I don't have any big vistas yet, but looking through the trees, looks pretty smoky. So again, I'm guessing that's just the way the wind direction is, even though there's not much wind. But the smoke's just settling in. Hopefully, it's like yesterday and it clears out later in the day. But we'll see. If it gets bad, I do have a mask. That'll help a little bit. But I'd rather for it just to clear out and get some blue skies and some clean air. See how it goes. See you down the trail. Okay, yeah. Should be able to see. I just barely see a shadow of a ridgeline over there, but that should be clear. A lot of smoke, a lot of haze today. So hopefully that's this in the morning. We'll see. Okay, not sure if I need it or not, but I figured I'd try hiking with a mask just to see how it goes. I've got this one that Sandra sent me. I've also got another one that Gandalf got a box back in Shasta. Slightly different style. I'll start off with this one, see how it goes. I got a downhill stretch now. I'm not quite breathing as heavy. We'll see if this restricts my airflow or not. Again, I don't know if I really need it, but it probably helps. I just want to see what it's like hiking, because you're huffing and puffing hiking, especially going uphill. So I want to see what that's like in a mask or not, if the smoke does get worse, or if I get a bail. All right, we'll keep you posted. See you down the trail. Here's some big blowdowns. They do a really good job cutting down these blowdowns, but even where they get a big one like this, that is too big for them to cut through with whatever saw they have. They do chunks, make steps. It's like the third one I've seen like this in the last 2 weeks. So it's very nice. You can just step here. Step. Step. And you got the landing zone. They're pretty nice. Like that one in the back, it's probably, 2.5 feet. This thing, I'm guessing this is probably 3 feet, maybe 3.5. So that's a pretty big chainsaw to cut through that. But I'm only, I don't know, 50 miles into Oregon, 60 miles into Oregon probably. But what I've seen so far is the trails are so nice. I mean, A, they're dirt, not as much rock, but the crews in Oregon, at least the first 50, 60 miles, are doing a great job keeping the trails clear. See a lot of, older, like that one's been cut a long time ago, but a lot that are just fresh this summer. So they do continuous maintenance, which just makes it so much easier to hike. There were a few, it's a lot better than California. There were a couple stretches in California that were just horrible. You wonder why you're even out on the trail when, you got a couple miles where every 5 or 10 feet you're just climbing over blowdowns. And that's just not fun. A little bit less than fun. So hopefully this continues for the rest of the state. That would be nice. So we'll see and report back to you. See you down the trail. A lot of Oregon has more dense forests. In some ways that's really nice. You get more shade in the afternoon. You're not baking in the sun. But in other ways, it's a little bit more like what I hear the AT or Appalachian Trail's like. They call it the Green Tunnel because you're just hiking through the forest and you don't see the surrounding countryside. You just see, a couple 100 feet ahead of you. So I'm wondering if that's why, when people rank the different sections of the PCT, Oregon's usually at the bottom. Normally the Sierras in Washington are at the top, then the desert in California, and then Northern California, then Oregon at the bottom. I'm wondering if it's just because, you get the big views in the other places. Even the desert in Southern California is wide open. So you get these huge views and all these different ecosystems and microclimates. Obviously the Sierras and the Washington Cascades are just pretty epic in themselves with the views and the mountains. But Oregon, it's beautiful, but I don't think you get the spectacular views. They're just awe-inspiring. But this is nice. Nice lush forest. A lot better than a lot of the burn zones. Maybe because it's also because it's a little bit flatter and not as it doesn't change as much. I think it's mainly just because you don't have the big views. Anyway, I'm gonna enjoy it while I'm here, and we'll see you down the trail. Okay, the air feels better, but here's a road that you can actually see some in the distance. It's still pretty hazy out there, so I'll probably keep wearing the mask just to just be on the safe side. Hopefully that gets better as we go later in the day. We'll see. Along with all the PCT blazes, you got these blue diamonds. I guess they're to mark a cross-country ski trail that overlaps. You can see one of these diamonds here. They're generally higher up in the tree, I guess because of the snow accumulation and that. I've been seeing them for kind of throughout Oregon, so I guess there's a lot of cross-country ski travel. Okay, I'm gonna get some water here. It's been 8 miles since I left camp. I'll get some water and a snack, but look at this. Less than 800 miles, or less than 900 miles to the Canadian border. We're getting there. I'll just keep racking up. Let's go check out the shelter.
Sometimes I kind of forget that we're pretty high up, and at the last road there was a sign oh, watch out, maybe there might be sled dogs coming through. I'm like, what? No, not that group.
This is a South Brown Mountain Shelter. A bunch of people camped up here. We're here for the water. This is a water pump and well. and good little brick spot. It's kind of reminiscent of the some of the AT shelters, but you could fit a few people in here, especially if it's cold or raining. You got a nice wood stove, and you could put your mattress on these shelves here. Plenty of room to camp out here. So, seemed like a popular spot. I just had a little snack, filled up with water, got another 10 miles to the next water source. So, we'll see you on down the trail. Everyone's commenting on how lush and green the forest is. It's almost like out of a movie or something. Out of The Hobbit or something like that. And then a lot of the trees, have this green moss growing on it. They were calling that wizard's beard. There's a lot of it. You can see some of the trees are just covered, and others not. This one has a lot of it. Just the light really plays a lot with the green. And you got all the, sometimes they're ferns. I don't know what types of bushes these are, but everything's just green and lush. And it's just so peaceful walking by yourself through this. Really enjoying this. It's a kind of a different microclimate than back in California. A caterpillar making his way down the trail. I just saw a ton of butterflies in Northern California. They were all over the place. Not as many as in Oregon. Not that many in Oregon, I should say. As long as he makes it across the trail. If he keeps walking down the middle of the trail like this, he might just get stepped on. So hopefully he gets to where he's going and grow up to be a butterfly. Alright, see you later, little guy. Okay, so this is like the third lava flow I've come across. Just a jumble of rocks. Now, kind of slows you down, makes it hard to cross, but you do along the trail, you're putting these red, smaller lava rocks in that make it a little bit easier. Still slows you down a bit, but it's easier than just walking on these bigger ones. It goes down here, but this is the third flow in the last quarter mile. So we'll see how long this goes on for. It's like the last mile and a half was like 90% of that lava crossing. That just, slows you down, takes a lot out of you. I found this little spot here. I don't know if we're out of it or this is just a break, but it's a little camp spot. I'm going to take a break here. Debating whether to have an early lunch. I was planning on just taking a break. It's 10 after 11. I've already done 12 miles. I was going to have a bar to tide me over to lunch, but after that last section, I'm just spent. If it's like this, I might just do 2 lunches today, one now and one in a couple hours. I got enough food for 2 lunches. I think I just made up my mind. I'm going to do an early lunch now because I could use the rest, and I need something more substantial than just a power bar. More lava fields. Yeah, like between 6 and 8 miles of these things. Sometimes you get reprieve, but it's slow. It's tough. Okay, so this is a new mountain, new volcano. Not sure. I'll have to get a chance to look on the map, see what its name is. And is that what caused all this lava? I was thinking it was kind of coming from up there, but it's a possibility. This guy blew, just all went down and then splashed up. Don't know, but we're in a lot of lava right now. Whole lot of lava. That guy might be the source. Just crossed highway, I think it's 140. So we're a little over 18 miles in. It's just past 2:30. Now I got the Big Mac, the big mandatory afternoon climb. So I think the next 4.5 miles is uphill, about 1,300 feet. So I'm hoping I'm done with the lava fields, because like the last 8 miles, 7 or 8 miles, was pretty much all lava fields. Some breaks in the forest, but the lava fields are just, they're exposed. You know, they're black rocks, so they soak up the sun and radiate it back at you. The footing's, you know, tough. You know, it's sliding around and it's all rock. So it just takes a lot out of you. It makes it slow going. So I think I read the comments that, you know, we're kind of done with those. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, it's a nice trail like it was this morning. Hopefully, we're in the shade just past a creek. So I just soaked my sun hoodie, try and keep cool. So we'll see how the next 4.5 miles go. I'm trying to get to 26, so it's like 4.5 up and then 3.5 down to Squaw Lake, where I'd like to camp tonight. Keep my fingers crossed. The next 4.5 miles goes pretty smooth. Then it should be clear sailing down to the lake. We'll keep you posted. See you on down the trail. One more time, Pacific Crest Trail number 2000. Gotta figure out what that 2000 means. Okay, it's about 4 o'clock. About 2/3 of the way up the Big Mac. It's the big mandatory afternoon climb. I was getting tired and hungry, so decided to stop here. I saw this camp spot and have lunch number 2. So I had a tortilla with peanut butter and Cheez-Its and some apple and Snickers bar. I got the extra food and I was hungry, so why not? I think I still got about another 1.5 mile climb left, a little over 500 feet. And then I got 3.5 miles down to the campsite. It's about 6:30 and made my destination. So we did, I don't know, a little over 26, maybe 26.5 miles. That's a long day. I think 22, 23, 24 is good. That's my sweet spot, I think, now. Because even though the last couple miles, last 3.5 miles is downhill, it was kind of a slog. I was just, you know, kind of pushing myself just to make it. Kind of had to make it because, you know, there were some tent spots along the way, but I needed water. So I wanted to get down here. Got a great tent spot right here, nice and flat. There's a nice little eating area over here. And right here's the lake. I think this is Swan Lake. Pretty good sized lake. And it's pretty warm, so I'm probably gonna wash up after I eat. Wash off the feet and some of the sweat off my clothes. Looks like a pretty nice lake. Don't know if there's real good access in it because it's a lot of brush and trees right up to the edge. There's really no beach area, at least not here. It looks like on the other side there's some better, but the campsites are over here. This is where the trail takes us, so I don't feel like trying to explore around the lake at this point. I'm exhausted. It's getting late, so I'm gonna eat, wash up, plan out tomorrow, and then go to bed. So you can see, look up in the distance there, you know, it's still pretty hazy. I was starting to smell smoke in the afternoon, so I put my mask back on while I was hiking, and the air is not clear. You know, it's not real bad, but it's not clear either. At least right now, I got the whole place to myself. Only one here. I'm sure it's going to change, just because the water spots. I guess the next spot's like 3.4 miles down. So maybe people will skip this because this is like a 1/3 mile off trail. So it's a little bit of a hike down here. But I didn't have another 3.5 miles. I know other people like hiking to like 8:30. You don't even mind hiking till 9 when it's after dark. But that's not my jam. So I'm gonna camp here. Maybe I'll keep it all to myself, but if I were to bet, I'd bet other people will show up. We'll see what happens. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Aisha placed the bet. Yeah, whole crew just showed up just as cooking dinner. There's probably 10 to 12 of them. So it's packed. It's getting packed in there pretty tight. Looks like this might be a earplug night to go to bed. I think they like staying up talking for a while. All right, well, it's getting to be my bedtime. I'm gonna head back to my tent and go lay down, start planning tomorrow, and then try and get some sleep. We'll see you tomorrow.